We will start with Jason Kersey of The Athletic and then go to Ryan Aber. Jason?
Yeah. Hey, Trey. A couple of years ago, you obviously defended Tylan Wallace a lot. I'm wondering what makes him such a good and difficult receiver to cover.
I think with one of those type guys like that, you would categorize him as an all-around receiver. I mean, he's strong in every aspect of the game: route running, blocking, um, speed, and strong hands. So it's one of those type guys that it's hard to pinpoint a weak spot in his game. And when you're going against guys like that, that's what makes the receivers, the great ones. That's what makes them great. So I feel like he's one of those all-around receivers.
Thanks, Trey.
Ryan Aber and then Eric Bailey.
Trey, the front has been really successful in putting pressure on quarterbacks, sacks, tackles for loss numbers, things like that are way up there. How much does that help you all on the back end trying to defend offenses in this league?
That helps out a lot because the back end we tie in with the front. So, you know what I mean, we make their job easier with having good coverage and vice versa with them. You know, like you just mentioned, them getting as much pressure they can get on the quarterback, it makes it easier for us on the back end with the coverage because, you know what I mean, it makes the quarterback have to get the ball out quicker than expected. Makes the receivers might have to alter their routes, and you know what I mean, allows for overthrown balls, you know what I mean, bad thrown balls, which eventually leads to turnovers, which something that we harp on a lot.
Appreciate it, Trey.
Eric Bailey and then Joe Bettner.
Hey, Trey, kind of feeding into what Ryan just asked you. I was just curious, what's the feeling when you're so focused on coverage, you hear the whistle and turn around and see the quarterback on the ground after a sack?
You have to love it. Like I said, those front seven guys, they get after it. Like I was just mentioning, we tie in together. So with them getting after the quarterback like that, having that pressure each and every snap and just in the quarterback's face, like I said, it ties in and it makes our job a little bit easier on the back end. Just make sure that we cover our guys still, but just knowing that the front seven guys are getting after it. So when the quarterback does put the ball in the air on the back end, we have to make them pay for it.
Thanks a bunch, Trey.
Joe Bettner and then Bob Prisbillo.
Hey, Trey. Lincoln compared Trajan Bridges, I guess, physically and skill-wise a lot to Tylan Wallace. I'm curious if you kind of see those same traits in him and how he's maybe impacted, I guess, the defense's preparations with what he's able to do.
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, those all-around receivers. And then another thing to mention about receivers like that is at the point of attack with the ball, Trajan he's terrific with that, and Tylan as well. Attacking the ball when it's in the air. So when you're going against receivers like that, you have to make sure you're strong at the point of attack when the ball's in the air on the DB side. And so that's just something that I said Trey does a terrific job of, and he helps us out during practice, which will lead up to the game.
Thanks, Trey.
Bob Prisbillo and then John Hoover.
Yeah, Trey. Trey Brown said a couple of weeks ago that he stopped playing for the expectations of others and just focused on himself. How have you seen that transformation with him during this last month?
It's been great because, like he mentioned to you, he's focusing more on his technique, and as opposed to what the receiver is going to give him, he just makes sure he perfects his craft and knows that if he trusts his technique and does what he does, he plays as the best corner in the country, and so it doesn't matter which receiver lines up against him. No matter who's across from the ball, on the other side of the ball, as long as he plays his technique and trusts in what he's coached to do, the results it's going to work. He's going to come out on top as he expects.
John Hoover and then James Hale.
Hey, Trey, tell me what you can about the energy and the passion and the leadership maybe that guys like Ronnie Perkins and Nick Bonito bring when you're talking about, your receiver finishes his route and you turn around and look and the quarterback's back on his back in the backfield. One of those guys has usually had a hand in it. I'm just wondering what that feels like to know those guys are there.
You have to love playing behind those guys. Like I said, I'll harp on it again. It's the front seven, especially the D line. They tie in with us on the back end, and Perk and Benito. Every time you look up, they are in the backfield. So as a DB, you have to love that, and that just excites us on the back end. You know what I mean? Just makes us want to be on top of our game more to reward them. You know what I mean? Allow us as a defense, allow them to get those covered sacks sometimes. You know what I mean? When it's maybe a little bit tougher to get back there to the quarterback, or allow them to get those sacks and those quarterback pressures whenever the quarterback's scrambling or something. And then on the back end, with them getting the pressure, you know what I mean? Like I said, altering the quarterback's his throws, and you know what I mean, which results in bad throws sometimes, allows us to have more opportunities to get turnovers on the back end.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
James Hale and then Barry Trammell.
You know, Trey, it's not just Williams. They've got Stoner. You know, Woods is a huge tight end. They've got other guys at receiver. Talk about, the matchup there with their receivers and the things that they do. Plus, Hubbard, catches the ball quite a bit out of the backfield.
They're a great offense, great team. You know what I mean? They have weapons from outside to the slot, in the backfield as well. So it's one of those type things that, as a defense, we just have to, get lined up, make our calls, and kind of how I mentioned with Tre Brown, we just all have to trust in our technique and focus on what we do on this side of the ball to ensure that we want the results that we get the results that we want.
Thanks, man.
Barry Trammell and then Keegan Renault.
Yeah, Trey, when you were in Fort Smith, you're just across the line, but how much did you pay attention or know anything about the Bedlam rivalry? And what have you come to sort of understand about it since you've been in Norman?
I knew a little bit about it, just for the simple fact that my coach in high school, his two oldest boys, they played at Oklahoma State while I was in high school. And, just being around football, it's one of those rivalries that you hear about. And then once I got on campus, this game outside of the Red River rivalry is two biggest games on our schedule. So it's exciting each and every year. It's a battle, a slugfest each and every year. So I just know we're preparing and we're all excited for it.
Who was your high school coach that had the two boys at OSU?
Felix Curry.
Okay, a couple more here, Trey. Let's go to Keegan Renault and then Lee Benson.
Yeah, Trey, obviously, the first time you got introduced to this game, you played corner. Now you're back at playing safety. I'm curious, one, where do you feel most natural at? Just in space, and then two, just kind of the transformation from playing corner to safety in this game, and just how much different that's going to look.
For me, I've always prided myself on knowing each position on the back end, whether it's corner, nickel, strong, free. So for me, the comfortability is really wherever I line up at. Honestly, just taking pride in knowing each and every one of those positions, and just being confident wherever I line up at. And I guess, like you said, freshman year when I first played, I was playing corner. You know what I mean? That's more of an out there on the island, one-on-one every snap type deal. And then, safety is more of it's kind of tied into both, run fit and pass game. But like I said, it's one of those type deals that I just make sure I prepare mentally and physically throughout the week, and trust in my technique whenever I get out there on the field.
Thanks, Trey.
And Lee Benson.
Trey, kind of piggybacking a little bit off that, since you guys just talked about the 2018 game. Obviously, I'm sure you remember Tylan Wallace had a nice game. I'm sure he remembers that as well. And I'm sure he's eager to play against you guys again after missing last year. And I would bet that you and the guys like Buki and Trey that were in that game as well. You guys pretty eager to get another shot at him after the last couple of years?
Yes, sir. Like I said, it's always an exciting game, but we want to make it a focus as a team and as a defense. Like I said, just go out there and focus on our standard, focus on what we're coached by our coaches each and every day, each and every week, and go out there, trust in our technique, and let it rip. Just play ball and have fun. And like I said, everybody knows the Bedlam games are always exciting. Like you said, Tyler, he didn't get to play last year. So, I mean, I know him as well as the entire Oklahoma State team is going to be excited. We're definitely going to be excited to play. So it's definitely going to be a fun game.